guys, this is Howard with Murder by Numbers by the Police, written by Andy Summers and Sting, no less. I guess Andy just had this great chord progression happening, and Sting came up with some words and a melody, and off they went. And apparently it was a one-take job, which is really cool, if that's true. Sort of like Miles Davis kind of blue, one stroke of the brush and you're there. So the song has just two sections, the verses and the choruses, but it has about 12 chords in all. So there you go, the fabulous Andy Summers. And of course, they are all heavily steeped in the world of jazz, and it's just a really cool song. And you can look at the song a couple of different ways. Some people see it as a quick 3/4, 1 2 3, 1 2 3, 1 2 3, 1 2 3. But of course, Stuart Copeland, who lays in a fantastic drum track, by the way, it's just absolutely killer, gives it a real 2/4 feel, like 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, meaning the backbeat that he imposes on the track a lot. But you can think of it as in 4/4 time if you want to, with a triplet feel. 1 2 3, 1 2 3, 1 2 3, 1 2 3, 1 2 3, 1 2 3, 1 2 3, 1 2 3. However you want to perceive it is totally fine, as long as you can get into the pocket and the feel of the track. So let's get into the verses. As a note, the first time they play it, they play one verse with the instruments and they go straight to the chorus. After that, when they start looping it, they do a double verse each time. And then at the end of the song, they actually loop the verses out. And there's one chord that they toss in there, which I'll cover, okay? So the first chord in line is an E minor 7th, which is played like so. You can see that on the screen. But you've got this little lick out the gate. And then you hit the chord. So what I'm doing is I'm sliding from the 3rd fret to the 5th fret on the 6th string. Then with my first finger playing the 3rd fret again, and then finally the open E string, at which point you hit the E minor 7th chord. There you have it. And the second chord in line is a B flat suspended 4 with an A in the bass. You can see it up on the screen, but I'm barring across the first two strings at the 1st fret with my first finger, and then ring finger on the 3rd fret on the D string, and pinky on the 3rd fret on the G string. So you hit the open A string, and then swing down and hit the remaining notes. So what we have so far is very cool and sinister sounding. And then we go to a B7 sharp 9, the infamous Hendrix chord as they call it. And so what I'm doing there is I'm striking the A string again by itself, and then swinging down and hitting the D, the G, and the B strings. And then we move to a B flat major 7 sharp 11. Music theory. Okay, but it's actually pretty easy to get to from this chord. Leave your ring finger and your pinky where they're at. Take this finger off and replace it with the first finger at the 1st fret on the A string. And you want to strike the A, the D, the G, and the B string. Then with an upstroke, which I think is advisable, hit the open E string. So what we have then, nice and slow, is and you're going to repeat that with a couple of variations in there. And what I'm showing you right now is the way Andy plays it the first time through. He plays it pretty much 80 to 90% of that for the remainder of the song, but you can catch a little nuance here or there on the recording where maybe he hits a couple of strings instead of just a single string. Don't let that hang you up too much though, okay? Just kind of get into the chords, and he kind of busts it out at the end. He kind of starts strumming a little bit. Just make it your own, okay? But this is the way he plays it through the first time, the verses and the chorus. Now you're going to repeat it with a couple of subtle changes. Okay, and those subtle changes happened on the B7 sharp 9, where he just strikes the chord A, D, G, and B strings, swing to the open E string, and back to the B string. And when you get to the B flat major 7, sharp 11, it's the same as it was before. So with those two verse patterns together, this is what we have. And then we go a third round, and the third round is played like this. The change also happens on the B7 sharp 9 again. So what happened that time is, again, we're on the B7 sharp 9. You hit the bass note of the chord, which is the A string, with the D, the G, and the B string. 2 downstrokes on those strings. Right back to the B flat major 7, sharp 11. And same as before. So those three together sound like this. Very nice indeed. And after that, to finish off the verse, we move to a G flat 7 sharp 9. So this is going to be the exact same shape as the B7 sharp 9, but we're all the way up here on the 9th fret, okay, 9th fret with the 2nd finger. Sounds really cool up there. And you just sweep through the chord, the A string, the D string, the G string, and the B string. And we're going to play this. Very cool, and things get nice and interesting there. So that becomes an F major 7 sharp 11. It's just like the B flat major 7 sharp 11 down here, but there's no open string. We've got to fret that, okay? But it's similar. Keep your ring finger and your pinky in the same place. Bring your 2nd finger down to the 8th fret. We're moving from the 9th fret now to the 8th fret. And then bar with your 1st finger at the 7th fret, okay? I kind of bar all 5 of those strings. So you hit the chord using the A, the D, the G, and the B string again. And you can see I swung down to the 1st D string and then back to the B string. So it's just like what happened here. But we're doing it here, and it's a little bit more involved. So from that G flat 7 sharp 9, we're moving to that chord. And then we have a B minor 7th played very much Andy Summers style. You can see what's happening there on the screen, of course, but it's the 2nd fret on the A string, skip a string, 2nd fret on the G string, and then 3rd fret on the B string. And you want to play that from the A string down with the D string and the E strings being open. If you want to really get exotic, you can put the open E string in there, but I don't really hear that in the recording. In fact, what I hear is him kind of emphasizing this. So he might be doing some upstrokes right there because that D note especially and the A note really come across. So you can do it that way as well. You can do all downstrokes or kind of upstroking on the B string there. So then we have five strokes. And as I said, they only play one verse out the gate, but later on you'll want to loop that. So you come off of those five strokes right back into the verse. But the first time around, you come off of those five strokes right into the chorus. So let's cover the chorus right now. So as you can see, there's quite a bit more movement there, okay? It's all those little licks in between the chords. But let's talk about the chords first. The first chord here is an E minor 11th which I play by barring across the D and the G at the 2nd fret, but you can also just play it straight away with your first 2 fingers, however you want to do it. So that's the first chord, E minor 11th, and then we move to an F sharp minor 7th. So you want to skip the A string on that, but you want the 6th string, the D, the G, and the B strings. And then it's a simple G, not a full G chord like we all know, but just place the bass note on the 3rd fret on the 6th string. And it's the same idea as the F sharp minor 7th, just play the 6th string and follow through with the D, the G, and the B strings. And then after the G chord, we move to an F sharp minor 11th. It's the exact same shape as the F sharp minor 7th, as you can see, but technically, theoretically, it is a F sharp minor 11th. So what you're doing is you're just barring across those 4 strings, the 6th, the 5th, the 4th, and the 3rd. You can bring the B string in there as well if you want to. But you've got all those little licks in between the chords. Very, very cool thing to play. So let me break that down for you really slowly. So before the first chord, before the first E minor 11th, we have. So it's all on the 6th string, open, 5th fret, 3rd fret, and then open again, and strike the chord from the D string on down. Just like so. And then the next lick is played like this. So it's open E string, 3rd fret, 2nd fret, and fall into your F sharp minor 7th shape. And then after you hit the 6th string at the 2nd fret, swing down and play the D, the G, and the B strings. So those two together we have. And then making our way to the G chord, we're once again on the 6th string, open, 2, 3. Skip a string, swing down and hit the D, the G, and the B string. So once again we have. And then we have. And that's the F sharp minor 11th. Now what I do there, you can use an open E string, but to me it sounds like the chords are all sustaining evenly. And if you go to the E string, you sort of jump off that F sharp minor 11th chord and it cuts it short. But when I listen to the recording, I hear all of those chords sustaining for the same amount of time. So what I do is I play the 2nd fret, 5th fret, 3rd fret in between, okay? And that way the chord, you can hear that it kind of sustains and lasts for the full duration, if you will. So the choice is yours. I like using that 2, 5, 3, and starting the progression over. Or if you like the sound of the open E string, you can play it that way as well. I think either way sounds totally fine. That's just my preference for it. Back to the verse, okay? So what I did on that 4th go around now is I played the E minor 11th, just like you're going to play a full 4th round of the chords. To the F sharp minor 7th, just like before, but from there, open 6th string, 2nd fret, and then the B minor 7th for 5 strokes. All downstrokes or with that upstroke, like I said, it sounds like Andy's probably doing that. to the verse, okay? And this is where they start doing a double verse, then the chorus, double verse, and then the chorus. Now, what they do after they play the last chorus is they start just cycling around the verses, okay? But right at about 3 minutes and 35 seconds, if I remember right, Andy Summers throws in an E7 sharp 9 flat 13. It's really just the same sharp 9 stuff that we've been doing, but he grabs the E string at the bottom by barring across both the B string and the E string with your pinky. That happens after this. So what they're doing is they're jamming out on the verses and cycling it around, but as I said, right there at about 3:35, they toss in that chord. And it's great. It sounds absolutely cool. And so on and so forth. So as I said, they are simply looping the verses at the end of the song, and then at about 3:35, they toss in the E7 sharp 9 flat 13. Then they go another round and they toss in that chord again. So I stand corrected if I happen to say that they just did it once. They actually do it twice. So on that second go around, they come off of the and they head back to the chorus for one round, and that's where they end it, okay? So let me play that nice and slow for you. This will be the second go around with the E7 sharp 9 flat 13th in it, okay? Slowed that down a little bit more, but there you go. So on that last one, it's just like the tag that they always did on the chorus, is you go to that B minor 7th right off of the F sharp minor 7th. So that very last one is slowing down properly, played like so. So you play 4 B minor 7ths. See on that last one, I brought in the open E string, the 6th string. And they just start going crazy and end the song. So there you go with Murder by Numbers by the Police. I got a lot of requests for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And as always, all the best to everyone.